Hello everyone, welcome back to more bad chess. We're white this time. Let's just open up e4, I don't know. Against Nestanikian. I don't know how to pronounce this. I assume it, I don't know, it looks Norwegian or Scandinavian maybe? I don't know, kind of weird actually. Maybe it's not. Eventually I'll find my level, find some players I can beat. Probably not a 1400 if I had to guess. We did beat one earlier, but it was kind of luck, I think. Yeah, definitely. I was going to blunder my way to defeat eventually in that game, but the opponent resigned. I don't know. That seems bad. Let's just do this. There you go. I'm ready to castle as quickly as possible. Not necessarily a good idea, but I could. I don't know why I didn't go here. I usually like forcing them to make a decision with this pawn. Today I didn't feel like it. But my idea was to like... I don't know actually. It doesn't really make any sense. I think I was trying to defend this square so I could put a pawn there, but obviously the move did not actually accomplish that. Yeah. I mean, can I do this? Is that good? Seems bad. I do this, and like, if they want, they can take the knight. I take the queen. They take my queen, and I take their bishop, and we're even on material, but my king is pretty awkwardly placed. I could try to kick the bishop away, and then if they decide to take the knight, I don't mind. I can capture with the queen then. Yeah, this is the right idea. Okay, they're going to maintain the pin. I don't really want to ruin my king side that much. Let's just quietly go here, I guess. We're going to have to do something about this pin eventually, but I want to put my queen somewhere good instead of somewhere bad, like here. For example, plant her here to attack this knight and force some sort of awkward... Well, they can just do nothing, because my queen doesn't want to throw herself away, but then I can follow up with this and make them do something a little awkward, perhaps. I wonder if I can, like, use less space over here? Like, is there like a layout setting or something? We're wasting a lot of space that you guys could be looking at the board. I don't really want to set up a screen region. I'd rather just capture the whole window. Again, if I were like a professional YouTuber, I would set up a screen region for this, but I don't want to. I would like to see more, more board and less of this nonsense, but here we are. So I think it is fine to put my knight here. It defends this knight, and it also, which is good because I want one day to do this, and that would be leaving the knight in a troublesome position otherwise. Pawn takes seems fine. I don't really want to move the bishop. I could put him here, but I don't want to do that right now. This invites the knight forward, which is probably okay. I don't know. Yeah, let's just get this pawn moved a bit. I don't know. That doesn't do this, which kind of ruins my kingside in the way I was trying to avoid by having to do this. But my queenside is looking okay at the moment, so maybe it would be fine. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably not great. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this game. I don't feel like I'm behind necessarily. I think this is a slightly disadvantageous trade for me. But our center control is similar. Our development is similar. I'm maybe even a bit up on development, but I've taken more moves, so that seems fair. Which is to say that if I am up, it's really just the advantage white starts with. Not anything particularly clever I've done. Okay, that threatens this pawn. Also threatens to get deeper into my position if I move the pawn. I could just bring my knight back here to defend instead of moving it. Because I don't really want to give up these spaces. I think I'll just retreat with the knight. Blocks castling kingside, but I don't think I really want to do that anyway. Look at it, right? My opponent probably has a plan. I can't tell for sure. I don't have a plan. My plan is like this, which, I don't know, is not really anything. Yeah, especially now that the king is gone. This pawn is pretty weak now, but the bishop is still guarding it. And I can castle this way at some point to add more support and attack the queen. I mean, not actually attack it, but add pressure to the file she's currently on. On the other hand, that does just renew the pin on this knight. It pins the knight to a rook instead of to my queen. So maybe what I should be doing is trying to do something productive with the knight first. Now that I've broken the pin. Okay. That would be a pretty bad move, wouldn't it? Let's not make that move. Pawn here? It's attacked 4 times. Seems pretty bad. I am defending it 3 times. If I got this bishop out of the way, it might be playable. But I don't want to let this happen. That would be pretty bad. Ugh. Maybe I just have to retreat with the bishop. This is a focal point for all the players, I think. And actually, I can't count on this knight as a defender, because he can be snipped at any time by the bishop. I think we have to go here, right? Everywhere else, well, this might be okay. Here looks kind of dangerous. You know, let's just ship her all the way over to the other side of the board. I don't know exactly what would happen if I put her here, but like pawn moves someday look a little scary. Not right now, but I don't know. There's just like a lot that could happen to her stuck in the middle of the board, I think. Oh, this pawn's hanging now, since I moved this bishop. But not really, because this bishop is also hanging. So I guess they would trade here and then take here would be the way to win material. I'm not sure if it's good. I might have some response to it, but on the surface it looks okay. Yeah. Well, okay. So now we're losing this pawn, right? That's the idea. I forgot this bishop had a job to do over here. And I can bring the rook over here and trade. But then they just do this and I lose this file. Not sure what else I'm supposed to do. Develop the knight? No, he's very important. Actually, oh, they're double attacking this square. That's pretty bad. I actually have to develop my king. It attacks the rook, it defends the pawn. Given the unpleasant position I'm in, this seems like a totally fine move. Maybe someday I can do this to try to open up the A file. Now that I've decided I'm not castling in either direction, I can blow up my pawn structure a bit. My king's doing a good job of protecting this file. I like that. Still think I'm losing. My pieces aren't doing very much. My king's not that safe. I have a good bishop. I was going to take with the rook. What if I take with bishop? This attacks the knight, although they can just, like, not do anything because the knight is defended by the rook, who would probably be happy to come over there. I think I want to activate the rook. I don't see anything immediately dangerous about that. And it threatens this pawn. They probably want to do something like that. Maybe even just push it and let the knight defend. Maybe I swing my knight into action like so, and that opens up this file for my rook, or lets my rook get to this file anyway. Yeah. This is a pretty cool place for my knight. Not very happy about that. I guess I can just bring the rook over now, right? Well, not exactly. Because then they can do this. And threaten this again. Maybe I need to bring my bishop up to here. But then this knight just falls, right? That seems worse. So here is no good for them. But here would be okay, I think, for them and not for me. I don't know. I can play knight here and be fine, I think. This pawn's a little bit lost, though. Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to play for a draw if you don't mind. Which is to say, like, they can only use this rook for one of two threats, and I'm happy to defend whichever threat they make with this rook. So if they can't come up with anything better, then we would just like do nothing. So I assume that's not actually what's going to happen. But at the moment, I'm content to just defend whatever they do. Okay, what is that threatening? Here, I guess? Or here, maybe? Oh, yeah, it's threatening there. Well, it's also threatening here if I move my rook. But I don't know if letting them onto the back rank is really that bad right now. Whereas I don't want to let them onto here. I still don't really have a plan. Which, as you know, if I were a better player, I would. But if I were a better player, I wouldn't be playing this guy. It's a joke. My opponent, I think, is stronger than I am, but clearly, like, if I got stronger enough, I wouldn't be in this position. I don't know. My opponent is a little short on time, but I don't think we can count on that to be any real advantage. Ooh, I like that a lot. We're forking the bishop and the rook. Maybe they have some way out of it, but this seems good. I was planning to move here anyway, and now it's attacking the rook. Bishop here defends the rook, but I still get a rook for a pawn and a bishop, which is probably good. If they do that. Maybe they do something else, but I'm just explaining why that's not necessarily this amazing move. There's some reason not to take the bishop? I don't think so. I could just jump back here and take the pawn, right? What's the joke here? What's happening? Why is that wrong? I could take the take it in two different ways. Take it with the rook if I want to get him involved, which I kind of do. Yeah. Right? Sure. That takes this rook out of action now because I'm threatening a checkmate here. So this rook is kind of tied down to defending that. What? No, my knight was hanging. That's why I was supposed to take with the knight. Whoops. This seems like a pretty potent threat with my rook, because both pawns are in danger now. I don't see any threats for my opponent at the moment. Ah, fuck! The knight is guarding that square. He's just been doing nothing for so long, I forgot. Well, there goes this game. Alright, now we need to win on time. I had it. I was winning this game, and then I finally gave it away. It's gonna be tough to win on time. Since there's so much of it. What can I do? We're not going to win on time this way. I don't know. Do this and then try to make the rook flinch somehow? I don't really see any way to do that. Probably should have gone here, actually. That's a much more active square. Yeah. I mean, you want to go here, and I think I'll just allow that since I don't have any better ideas. But I don't want to lose this pawn when it happens. Oh, I should be taking this pawn at some point. I've had plenty of chances, I think, to take it with check. Yeah, there goes that. How long was that sitting there? Should have done it here instead of no? I see. I didn't have any chance. I was in check the only time that that move was available. I don't know. I can take this. It's not exactly solving all my problems, but it seems better than not taking it. What is that doing? Fine. We're trading rooks, which... Oh, no, we're not. I'm just losing a piece. The knight, again. They're so tricky. They just attack things in an L shape instead of moving like reasonable pieces. I have to get my king over here somehow. Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think we can resign here. So how was it before I threw away my rook? Or I don't know. I threw away multiple rooks that game. But I had in mind the one where I thought I could put him here safely, but the knight took. Oh, that hurts. A back and forth game for sure. Okay, so I did lots of things wrong here. It doesn't like queen a4. Yeah, I did end up being in some trouble with the queen there, didn't I? What ended up happening in the game? I wish I could just see, like, I don't know. I quickly gave up this pawn. I think that this was a blunder. Actually, I think it was fine. So it must have been moving the queen that created the problem to begin with. Yeah, that's fair. So should I just do like this or something? No. What? Why is this good? I don't understand what this move is about. I guess it threatens this, maybe? But that's not really a threat. Oh, it keeps my queen here to protect against this. And I'm losing that pawn regardless. So I took here, which it doesn't like. I mean, am I supposed to take with the bishop? Why? Apparently this is a disastrous play. It says I have to do this, but why can't I just run with the bishop? Oh, because then the pawn drops. And then my bishop is in trouble. I see. I'm losing track of what happened in the game versus what's going on in this puzzle. So it likes that, but if I just do this, wait, what? Oh, it's saying that black missed the reply and just pushed a pawn. I see. With this, I'm in a lot of trouble. But it didn't happen in the game. It says I should do this, but I obviously just lose the bishop then. And it's saying anything else I do would be even worse than losing the bishop. For example, running away with it. Now I've let a rook onto the second rank, and I'm in a lot of trouble. Okay. It doesn't like rook d1. Yeah, I didn't like anything in this position, but it seemed like defending... My opponent just made some big mistake, huh? Oh, they missed that. Attacking the bishop, I see. So it didn't like this, but it seemed like I needed to stop the rooks from getting in. And I only found one way to do that. Well, I also had this in mind, but I thought this would be a problem. Yeah. I was scared about this pawn, but maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe I should just be attacking the bishop so that they can't afford to come and attack. Yeah, fork these two. Sure. At this point, I have a massive advantage. Yes. It doesn't like the fork. Opponent moves here, dropping about a rook, and it says don't fork them. There's something better. Well, what the hell could it be? I can just attack the rook, but that just gives it permission to leave, which is not what I want. I could, like, do something forceful here first, drawing the king forward. I'm not sure why that would be good. Just attack the bishop, huh? Why? They take the knight. I recapture. Oh, I see. Because these two, this is also a fork, sort of, right? You get either the bishop or the knight for free. Whereas with what I did, well, okay. The opponent didn't respond to it in the best way. They were supposed to recognize that my bishop has been sitting here for free all this time. But when they didn't, I got the bishop for free, and it was even better than the best line. Okay, now it says don't take the pawn. Right, because the knight was hanging. Yeah, so that was obviously a big problem. And then it says, yeah, obviously this is horrible because they just take your rook for free. I saw the bishop and the rook colliding on this square and thought I was like, if I moved here, suppose this knight didn't exist. If I move here, I'm forking this pawn and this pawn, right? But that doesn't work because the knight does exist. What to do instead? I could just get this bishop out of harm's way and attack the knight, preparing to meet rook here with pawn push, perhaps. Or I could try to activate this rook with, like, rook here. I don't think I really need to attack this knight right now. Let's just rook here. Okay, good move, it says. But you had to think about it, which means it wasn't the move you expected. I don't know how to, like, see what you wanted. Right, so if I had done this... Huh. It wanted me to play knight here, actually, I think, right? Yeah. Huh. Okay. Well, we'll get in another game, I guess. I'm going to try to keep these videos a little bit shorter, and that was a longer game and longer analysis, so I think we'll just do the one game today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.